and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.
Okay. Well, now I gotta reset the damn camera. I was getting some water. Oh, let's see. I gotta get this moved over here. I'm still getting set up. Because today, I don't think the futures moved much, to be honest with you, with that. Newsletter. I don't think Trendspider's having a sale. It's still off, though. Still a good deal. Let me make sure this still works. I put in an ad blocker. And so I want to make sure nothing gets really blocked. Okay. I think we're okay there. FinViz is famous for if you use an ad blocker, they're just not going to let you do it. Okay. Morning, Star. Morning, Chris. It is interesting. I don't get any ads when I join the live. I used to. Proposed sale from Dell. I mean, it's going to sell 1 billion shares. Is it 1 billion? Let's see. Proposed sale on September 6th. $1 billion, so 10 million shares at 109. I mean, this is kind of new. I've never seen that one before. FinViz is such a good free platform. God, they do such a good job for traders. Okay, CPI data, PPI job tomorrow. The Seeking Alpha offer, I cleared it up, I think. No, I didn't watch the debates, but DJT stock I did notice. I mean, if the stock is any indication as to who won, VIX wants to be at 20. The debate on whether we are in a good market or a bad market. I got a bunch of quotes there. Portfolio building. We'll talk about that. Am I hearing it? As for the charts and markets. Yeah. I have a bunch of AI prompts for you too, which was really good. I like using AI, and there's 10 prompts. 3M was up yesterday. Financials were down. Ally Bank. Oil looks to be coming. Like it's starting to turn around. I'm still going to buy into strength, not weakness. NVIDIA, do we have a higher low now? Citi and Walmart top picks. Okay. Alpha stuff. Let's see. Citi. I don't see. Let me see if it's in Walmart. Because Citigroup just named them as top picks. Port strike ahead of the holiday. Didn't know that. Standouts among consumer discretionary. That was Sunday. Yeah, I just don't have a ton. So we'll do some scans. I am going to talk for a freaking hour. Morning, Victor, because I talk too much. But outside of that, market scanner. Let's look at the scans here. SMCI. Microsoft. SMCI, I mean, It's an interesting chart. I mean, you know, again, are you buying a falling knife? Because the weekly has been reset. Is this kind of is 400 kind of where it wants to be until it, you know, ironically over the last 8 years. I mean, look at September and October. So then you have November. That's the core investments. Let's see the brokerage holdings. I actually have to look at my brokerage holdings. Let me see. Brokerage holdings. AMD, I actually don't hold anymore. Remove AMD from this list. CrowdStrike, IGM, ITB, KO, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Pepsi, QQQ, QQQM. I do own that. Shopify, I don't own anymore. Remove shop. Snowflake, VRT, I still own VRT. I think I may. Did I sell out of VRT? I know the algorithm got me out of VRT, but Wells Fargo, XLK, XLY, okay. Interesting. Mara. MicroStrategy. Talked about that one. Huh. Morning, Troy. Babber's News. Let's see. Report. I don't know. I'm not in danger from it, but. Okay. Brokerage holdings. Okay, I updated that. Let's see. Bitcoin and crypto. Did we get a entry in some of the Bitcoin stuff yesterday? Maybe. Yeah. Bitcoin and crypto. It's like all or nothing with Bitcoin and crypto. CW, IBIT, WGMI, EZBC, FBTC, BITX, GBTC, BITB, BRRR, ARCB, BTF, and there's more. BTCL, MicroStrategy, HODL, and ETH. ETH got a cross. Hold on. Let me see. I see what I can do here. Hide user on this channel. There we go. Babber's News, we don't care. There's a nice little bot for you. Bitcoin. It is the remembrance of 9/11, so I know I'm supposed to be quiet, but I have it on in like the other room. So my apologies to anybody that I might be offending. BABX, BITX, BTCL, MSFU. Leveraged, low cost, Vanguard, cost, ETFs, VNQ. Spider sectors, anything cross up? Morning, Steph. Nothing, no spider sectors. The watch list, we probably have some in here. GCT. Anybody want some punishment? ARM, which got a leg up. Duolingo, Mara, GBTC. Okay. That's our watch list. Let's look at the Dow. I didn't get anything about the sound cutting out or anything yesterday. But I did get a lot of, oh my God, that was your best podcast. About the elevator pitch. ADP, CDNS, Cintas, Gilead, Picard, Old Dominion, PayX, Microsoft. Let's look at the S&P 100. NEE, NextEra Energy. I think that's what that is. MasterCard, AbbVie, IBM, Microsoft. Okay. I mean, this has been a good rebound. Let me see. NEE. $83 price target. It's right up there at 83. Valuation's a little bit extended. Yeah, I mean, where's NEE? I know it's in this list. There it is. Democrat. The Democrats win. XLE. Exxon. Interesting. Okay. I got my scans. I got CPI. Let me see. Is this the one that comes up? Yeah. Good inflation data is broken with core CPI rising by 0.3 in August and shelter spikes 0.5. This puts the Fed in a difficult situation, and the September cut might not be warranted at all given the totality of data, which is not good news for the market. I mean, your question as to whether it's needed is okay. We are gonna go back to the Qs and we'll go to the 4 hour. 4 hour. There we go. ServiceNow. I tell you what, I saw Bill McDermott last night, who was the CEO on CNBC after their announcement. God. It makes me, I mean, this right now makes me want to get into this one. I should probably just put this on the core portfolio. This one and CRM are not, and the basic reason is because of the high PE on software, and I just I own CRM. Let's select symbols, CRM. These are the two kings of enterprise software. And CRM has just not, ServiceNow has just eaten them for lunch. And I made the wrong call. Bill McDermott last night kind of convinced me. In fact, I'm going to write myself a note. Stocks to do. That's my list. Swap out CRM with now. That's my note. So I like it. I mean, I don't know for sure that this one's, going to continue. Let's see. What is the, what's the Wall Street target price on service now? 869. I mean, that's a tough sell. When 40 analysts, say, hey, it's at 869, that's a tough sell. But, God, let's see. Industry software. What's the number one? CyberArk software. There's a small cap. 11 billion. Mid cap. $260 price target, 17% upside. Quant rating just got it to a strong buy at around 270, so it's been a strong buy for a while. Since what? 227, pretty good. Yeah. No, Steph, I like that. I like that one. I really, really do. Hey, Scott. ServiceNow. I saw him last night, and I don't like his glasses. DirecTV reportedly rejected Disney's offer to restore AB Network for Trump-Harris debate. Interesting. I won't be buying the iPhone or the stock. Guy has not covered it before. Stock Bros. Probably should start being an analyst for these guys. Just takes an awful lot to write one of these articles. All right, do so much stuff. Okay, let's open up some of these links that I got. Okay, NVIDIA. Do we have a higher low? We'll take a look at that one. Dan Niles says oil is becoming interesting. I kind of agree. Then AI prompts to be a great investor. These were great. I got to tell you, we'll go over that. This is a great video by Liz Young. And it points out rate cuts are not the end game. Rate cuts are not the end game. It's the beginning. So for anybody that thinks that rate cuts, oh my God, the Fed, there was a post in the Facebook group about the Fed being political. No, they're not. Jay Powell's a Trump appointee. They're not political. They try their best to stay out of it. But even Richard Fisher, who's a former Fed official, he said, the problem is they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. If they don't cut, they risk of being too late. If they do cut, there's one candidate out there who will be very, very pissed that they did. But the point is, rate cuts aren't the end game. And people have been, kind of out there saying it's the end game. It's not the end game. It's not the end game. We'll go over the biggest movers of the day, including that person that I just talked about who will be loud about it. Okay. CRM, you mean? The peer group? It's, or I'm sorry, ServiceNow. We'll go and look at their ServiceNow. It's software. So they throw them in with the cybersecurity stuff. I don't know that I'd consider ServiceNow cybersecurity. I guess to a certain point it does. But you look at, like PanW, You look at 3-month return of CrowdStrike, just blaringly huge down. Fortinet's doing really well. Zscaler hasn't been doing well at all. Nothing about Zscaler is good. Checkpoint has been doing okay. It's definitely one of the leaders, but then you take a look at the PE. Even CrowdStrike is still super high. ServiceNow, they're growing. They're growing 24% year over year. CrowdStrike's growing 37% year over year. Your profitability, great profitability. I mean, that's a huge margin. It just looks good. But again, your ServiceNow is the orange line here. The pink one that you see, I should scroll up. The pink one that you see, the top one, this is CrowdStrike, and that's how outsized CrowdStrike was. This is over 1 year. That's how large a lead CrowdStrike had because they were growing so much. And then a simple kernel. Yeah, Troy, that's the feedback that I got, is that yesterday it kind of hit, hey, there's a good place in the world to kind of do that because we're in that seasonally. And I'll talk about it today. One of the things, I don't know if we're in a good or a bad market. And so it's kind of, where are we? And I'm seeing a lot of green now that the stuff comes out. I mean, NVIDIA's up 1%. NVIDIA's going to hold at that 100 until it doesn't. And if it goes under that 100, then, buy more. The valuation just makes sense. Sergey Brin of Google was on the All In Pod. It wasn't on the podcast, but the All In Summit. They're having a live summit. And he was on there yesterday. And he said, we ain't slowing down. We have to get rid of some of our customer base. We have to turn them down because we don't have the compute power. So, but Steph, I'd say ServiceNow, if you don't have it in your portfolio, if you don't have that or CRM in your portfolio, my CRM position is super small. I'll tell you, my CRM position is, let's see. I'm going to go into my Fidelity account and look. This isn't a Webull account to look at, so it takes me a little bit of time. I was actually up yesterday a good amount. Let's see, CRM. My entire position is for high 4 figures. Let's see, and total gain is 12%. And I've added and trimmed. It's not horrible at 12%, but the initial buy that I did, it was outsized and it was wrong. It's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. In that account, it was outsized because it's in my Roth account. So, but the initial buy was outsized. I didn't do it right. I wound up losing and then chasing, and now I'm up. I'll probably take some profits in that one. And like I said in my note, I want to swap out to ServiceNow. It's kind of like, remember, I was talking about swapping out from Palo Alto to CrowdStrike. I took the opportunity of the dip in CrowdStrike to buy and to start to do that. I don't know that I necessarily, oh my God, let me do this for, forever, blah, blah, blah. But I still own much more Palo Alto than CrowdStrike because I want to wait until I see what CrowdStrike does on the next earnings. And that's it. Okay. Are there any earnings coming up? No, I mean, Adobe Restoration Hardware. Okay. I will be gone tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow, Friday, and Monday. No pod. So, Steph, I had a great debate with guys on Spaces. I guess it was last week sometime. And one of the guys says HIMS can't miss, erectile dysfunction and blah, 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 even if they don't get the GLP-1 stuff and there's some stuff. It just looks good. This one's going back to all-time highs. And again, they present a great elevator pitch. And then I go over and I said, let me look at them here to see what the valuation is. And I look at the valuation and I say, they're not making money. They ain't making money. When they go cash flow positive, maybe that's the time where I'll do it. But I don't like a company that's not making money. Now, if you're, in your 20s or if you want to take a small position and put it in here because you like it, yes. But until that point, I think this is one that you actually trade. And the 4-hour algorithm actually does well on this. 146% versus 127% buying and holding. What you've got to worry about is where are we in this cycle? Because that's the weekly. And so, yes, $25 is the double top right there. But, it came off a SPAC. And so you're just a couple of years off a SPAC. I don't know the whole story behind this. I don't know the whole thing, but I know they're using compounding and, that some of the guys brought it up. They are using the shortages of Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk to actually move the GLP-1s with them. So, right, going to add more now. HIMS, I don't want to talk you out of HIMS because I just it's a product that no man wants to say that they have to order, and yet it's growing. So, and pardon the pun. And if you don't know, it's erectile dysfunction drugs. I think that's their biggest winner. GLP-1 is a growing portion of it. So, yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at, Troy, is I think it's great marketing. One of the biggest things that the guys on the Spaces were talking about is telehealth. My personal insurance is Oscar Insurance. And I will tell you, telehealth is included with insurance. They just provide it as a free service. It's not something I have to pay for. So am I going to HIMS? No. I'm going to go to the telehealth service that's provided with Oscar where they don't charge me. And so, it's kind of like Teladoc. When Kathy Woods was throwing money into Teladoc, that's when I got out of Kathy Woods. I said, why in the hell doesn't a hospital just start a freaking Zoom, get a Zoom license? That's, you have HIPAA compliance and you have other stuff. There's a lot more that goes into it. But in reality, I could hire somebody to manage that and pay far less than the Teladoc license fees. So I think you're right. It's a marketing company. And I don't mean to talk you out of it because trading it, I think it does work. But, okay, my screen looks okay. We're going to hit the record button. Okay. Good morning. It is September 11th. Yeah, just remember it's September 11th. I don't care what political party you were on. I don't care what side you were on. George Bush, I think, did a great job of uniting the country back then. My brother worked in New York. He saw the towers come down. I had a bunch of friends who passed away during that time. Being from New Jersey, I think everybody had that. Cranberry, New Jersey is where that guy Todd, who took the plane down in Pennsylvania, where he said, let's roll. That's where he's from. There's a memorial there. So peace and love to everybody. And let's hope that never happens again. But just to tell you my schedule, I will be out tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. I am going up for my parents' anniversary. So there will be no podcast. If there is, it's probably just going to be me talking. So if you enjoy my voice, maybe I'll get on and talk for 5-10 minutes. There's not going to be a video because I'm not bringing my computer. I am bringing my iPad Pro, my iPhone. So I can do a podcast, but it's probably not of the quality that you're used to. So if you want to take the days off, go and do your elevator pitch. Today, we're going to be talking about CPI, which came in perfectly fine. We'll talk about the debate, which I didn't watch, just perfectly honest with you, how the VIX wants to be at 20. We'll talk about good economy versus bad economy. What's the best things? And Stephanie Link had a great quote this morning. We will talk about portfolio building and how to get in there, because I get way too many questions from people. NVIDIA is 60% of my portfolio, and I just bought it at the end of August, and I'm down. What do I do? We'll talk about that type of stuff. There is an AI post that I put on Twitter with 10 prompts that you can use to manage your portfolio. It's a great post. We'll go over some of the financials, Ally Bank. We'll go over GameStop earnings, and then social, and then some of the requests. So let's look. Where did the Qs end up? Well, we bounced right off that 450. And if you haven't been here, or this is a podcast, I show this almost daily, where I said, hey, 450, it was the old resistance. And old resistance turns into new support. You can see how clear that resistance line is back here in March. It didn't want to get over it. All of a sudden it did. Then it broke down for one day, May 31st, and we were off to the races to 500 on the Qs. Okay? We have used that as support. It has broken down, but it hasn't completely broken down through it. Yes, you could try and say that, the start of this gap at 432 was the absolute because we had that Japan unwind trade. But in reality, that 450 has been a good level to take a look at. Where are we now? The MACD on the 4-hour looks like it's crossing up. The RSI is down at 44. Okay, you go and take a look at a weekly, and we're still not down to the oscillator on the RSI. You're still holding on to that 450, which used to be the resistance. Okay, if you're looking for ultimate support, it's that high value area. It is 400, 406, 405, somewhere in that neighborhood. If you're looking for the all-time highs, it's 500. So I think you trade between this 450 and 500. Am I calling this as, oh my God, we've got to get back in? No, the algorithm doesn't have you in yet. It most likely will have you in while I'm in New Jersey tomorrow or Friday, just depending on how things go. CPI came in. Everything on inflation is fine. 0.2% month over month in August, as expected. Now here's the problem. This is a Seeking Alpha analyst, Damir Takic. The 3-month streak of good inflation data is broken with core CPI rising by 0.3% in August, as shelter spikes by 0.5. Okay, this puts the Fed in a difficult situation, and the September cut might not be warranted at all given the totality of data, which is not good news for the stock market. On a year-over-year basis, core CPI advanced 3.2% in line with the consensus. Now, Jerome Powell has said, hey, that will slowly get down to 2%. He's in charge of the Fed. The Fed isn't political. Powell is a Trump appointee. Sure, there's other input, but Powell has the final say. And he said he's cutting. The debate is 0.25 versus 0.5. And we don't know what it is, but the market is expecting a full 1% pull down in this year. So you'll have to watch it. I think the Qs, am I saying it's an all clear? No. You take a look at, just the last 8 years. Okay. September's weak. October is a coin flip. So when do you really want to get in? You want to get in September. And we're at September 11th right now, so we're almost halfway through. Might be time to get in if you haven't gotten in. Again, if you're sitting out on this, remember we talked about this for a while. Time in the market beats timing the market. So I would urge you to take a look at your portfolio. Understand, I will go over the good and bad. Seeking Alpha, the deal that we have with join Seeking Alpha Premium and get 2 free alpha picks. I know I said, hey, the after price is, I think you lock in the after price. It says whatever it is. Current list price is $239. That's the auto renewal at the current list price. So if you get it before October 1st, you lock in the current annual list price at $239. My apologies. I think I mistyped it yesterday in the newsletter, but the disclaimer does say you lock in. Now, if you sign up after, even though you get the discount after October 1st, the renewal price will go up to $299. So signing up for the $25 off premium for the first year, what it gets you is the renewal price will start at $239. So use the link. I do think that this is the best one. If you want to get to it, it's at the link tree. It's the second link right here, Seeking Alpha Premium plus 2 alpha picks. Lock in the yearly price before October 1st. That's what I kind of meant. So take a look at that. If you want, we'll go over that. Second thing, no, I did not watch the debates. I did see that Taylor Swift identified as childless cat lady. But since both candidates are not necessarily my choice from a perspective of me, I don't know who I'm voting for. I'm pretty sure who I'm voting for. I'm not happy about it. Honestly, I could care less. The thing that I want to tell you is I just want you to vote. There's too many people out here that don't vote. You know, there are people dying in the world for you. You know, if my dad's a veteran. He fought for the right to vote. Says, I don't care who you vote for. Well, it's not true. He does care who you vote for. He will be a little bit louder than I will. But again, just vote. And from a market perspective, the market doesn't care. The market doesn't care. You'll see all of these kinds of things. There are certain stocks that are better if Trump wins. There are certain stocks that are better if Harris wins. But the market doesn't care. The market will be up no matter what. Trump telling you, here's the problem that I have with Trump. Trump telling you that the economy's so bad. It goes to what Josh Brown said, and I'm just relaying information. He lives on a very rich area on Long Island, $10, $15 million houses. And he says everybody who's voting for Trump bitches about the economy while they're buying their third mansion in Paris for the Olympics, and they'll just dump it after they're done. Okay? The economy is good. The economy's not bad. Certain portions of the economy are bad. Lower income has a bigger problem with inflation than upper income. If you're not feeling this economy, you're doing really well. If you're feeling this economy, I would urge you to try and look at some other ways to get up into that upper level, because there's two things that are probably the issue. Either your income's not high enough, so you need to generate more income, or you're living above your means. And so, you know, from a FIRE standpoint, if you're living above your means, you'll never get there. I have several friends who make over $100,000 and actually, you know, have gotten their kids off to college and graduated. And that should be a great savings for them. Still struggle to make mortgage payments. Not because rates have gone up, not because, they blame groceries and inflation. No. If you have two kids who are eating you out of house and home, who are teenagers, and then they go off to college and you're paying for college tuition and you're paying for housing and you're doing all of that, and then all of a sudden they're 20 years old, 21 years old, and they get off your payroll, mind you, they are off the payroll, you should have plenty of money left over to invest. And that's not saying that they didn't live below their, above their means while the kids were there. They did while they were, while the kids were there, they lived fine. But the reality is, again, I just see from my standpoint, yes, inflation hurts. It doesn't hurt a certain sector. So one thing that I want to point out is the biggest stock movers of the day. Oh, we'll just point this out. Don't be the guy that sits there and watches stock charts all day. Trendspider, I got an alert yesterday, and yes, that's my phone background. Alert fired, MicroStrategy. Buy at 125. Okay, that came in at, I think 12:30 or something. Right now, MicroStrategy's trading at 125.82. So don't be the guy that watches charts. This is an alert that came in. Get Trendspider. Trendspider is the top link. I use this one all the time, and I use those alerts. It came in yesterday, so don't be the guy that sits there and watches freaking stock charts. We talked about this one, biggest movers of the day. If you want to know who won the debate, DJT is down as much as 11%. So I mean, I don't know if that reflects on Trump. Again, I didn't watch the debate. I just kind of saw the armchair quarterback this morning on CNBC, and even Joe Kernan was like, "Oh God, it was bad." Dave & Buster's killed it on earnings. GameStop, they are diluting shareholders again. I mean, simple as that. Revenues fell. They're selling general administration. It rose 33% compared to 27%. It's not working. They're just going to take more money out of it. So my hope is that Roaring Kitty got out of that one. That's my hope. Let's talk about this. We're not going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about stock, the market right now, okay? The VIX wants to be at 20. How do you know where the VIX is? Just go to Seeking Alpha. Just type in VIX. I don't think this is even part of Seeking Alpha Premium. This is part of the free one. It wants to be at 20. It's down 4% today, which means stocks are going to be up. You're probably going to have a good day. When you look at this chart, it wants to be at 20. That's where it wants to be. That line right there is 20. It wants to be at 20. Right now it's at 18. Expect it to be at 20 between now and the end of the month. So you're going to have some down days between now and the end of the month. It wants to be at 20. There are great debates on both sides as to whether we're going to see it up in September and then a good October, or whether we're going to see something flat in September and then we see more October lows, okay? Good side, we got a good economy. Good side, we've got rate cuts coming. Good side, we've got an AI and GLP-1 economy. Bank of America yesterday, Brian Moynihan talked about the strength of their customers. Morgan Stanley talked about an acceleration of mergers and acquisitions. NVIDIA is down 20% from its highs. Again, bear market territory. Is that a good thing because you're getting it at a discount, or is that a bad thing because NVIDIA was too high? Hasn't pulled back enough yet. Wants to get back below 100. Too farly owned. Buffett just went to crazy amounts of cash. JP Morgan yesterday was down $11 in a day after Jamie Dimon warned about interest after income. Oil is at 67. Can't seem to get above 70. So, and we have seasonality. You know, we talked about how bad seasonally it is. The best quote from Stephanie Link this morning is, "I worry when I don't worry because that means you're complacent." So during this time, you know, again, Warren Buffett talks about it, how he said, be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy. He took the opportunity when others were greedy and he sold and raised a bunch of cash, and he's still raising a bunch of cash. Does he think people are being greedy now? I don't know. But her point was, Stephanie Link, when she said this, she said, NVIDIA was up 150% into this print. Yes, into this earnings, it was up 150% year over year. JP Morgan was the same thing. They went up so high into their earnings. She said Bank of America, Truist Financial, and Broadcom are the opportunities outside. This is her talking her book. We talked about it yesterday, how you have to make sure that you have your elevator pitch. She was making her elevator pitch. That's it. So let's talk about the thing I promised yesterday, portfolio building. You don't want to add any more than 2% of your current portfolio into a stock. If for some reason you see an opportunity and you say, okay, I've got $5,000 in my total portfolio. I want to add $1,000 of that into NVIDIA. That's way more than 2% of that portfolio. If you've got $5,000, I would urge you, $5,000 isn't a ton of money when you have an emergency like car repair come around, or if you need to make a down payment. You don't want to go into credit card debt. I would urge you, manage portfolios smartly. Okay? That's just gambling if you go too large into one stock. I had somebody email me 60% of their portfolios in NVIDIA and they bought in August. Okay? That isn't great. If you bought at 105, maybe you were feeling great at 127. Did you get out? Because you're back down at 105. A stock like NVIDIA is going to move 20 to 30%. With a small portfolio, you don't want a huge percentage in one stock. I'd even argue with a large portfolio, you don't want a huge percentage in a stock. That is what all the financial analysts tell me. Now, I've made my own decision, but when I initially bought into Apple, and we'll look at this monthly, I initially bought into Apple in 2004, 2006, somewhere in that neighborhood, when the iPhone came out. I have endured 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 30, 40, 60% downturns in this stock. I took it as opportunities to add to that stock. Now, I was big and big on this stock. I didn't add more than, I think it was 5% when I initially took that position. Okay? When I initially took that position, I took 5%. It grew to that amount in my portfolio. Okay? The rest of my portfolio, I trade around. I'm probably not as successful. Apple has been the big winner. But again, it points out, what do you want to do for your portfolio? Is it long-term? We talked about it yesterday. That article that I posted yesterday is exactly what it is. Are you a long-term investor? I would argue, yes, with me holding Apple this long, I'm a long-term investor. But we talked about, making sure that you add to your winners and cutting your losers. If you're adding in 30, 40% of your portfolio into one stock and it doesn't grow there, that's not adding to your winners. That's just adding a stock to your portfolio and gambling. So I would urge those with 80% of a small portfolio in NVIDIA, Palantir, SMCI, or anything of that sort, start scaling back. These are stocks that have run up quite a bit. And so you don't want to get stuck where you've got, I'm stuck in a position, and it's a good position to be in. But yes, I'm stuck in a position where I have 7 figures of a stock where if I go and sell it, 50% of that is going to be into taxes. Okay? You got to be smart about it. I didn't do it smart. I've never said that I was smart about this stuff. I just kind of got lucky on this one, and it has been my savings account for a very long time. Again, MacBook Pro, iPad Pro, Apple Watch, iPhone, AirPods, all of this stuff that I bought. And yes, I'm upgrading. So I do believe that the things you use and the things you like, if you're Android and you like it, buy Google. But again, make sure it grows to that position in your portfolio. Don't just say, 80% of my portfolio is going to start off in Apple. That's just, that's kind of ridiculous because you're not treating your money kindly. You need to make sure that your money is in a place that it'll grow. Where will it grow? VOO. Where will it grow? QQQ. Where will it grow? Any of the Vanguard, VUG, which is a growth, growth, which rivals QQQ. That's the smart play on how to build a portfolio. The smart play isn't to YOLO and to gamble. Now, if you got a play account like I do in Webull, I love Webull. Webull's my favorite mobile platform. It's the 4th link right here. You get free stocks when you sign up. I put $1,000 in there. I'm at like $7,500. I think I have 50% of it in MicroStrategy and IBIT. Yeah, that kind of portfolio, I'm not too worried about. Some of my Roth is in CRM. And we talked about that between ServiceNow on YouTube Live. I haven't played that one very well. I haven't managed that position well, and it hasn't grown. If I had managed it well, I bought too much in the initial purchase. It was more than 5%, too much. It was down for years, and I didn't want to get out of it. Ego got in the way. And again, I didn't cut my losers and start moving it. Now it's up like 11, 12%, somewhere in that neighborhood, but it just floundered. So I would urge you, if you are in a stock where it's just got too much, this is
down
what
and
you're
Ginger
doing.
leads the pigs
Bro,
out.
what could
Hosey
you be
quickly
betting
overtakes
on at
back.
3 a.m.?
One of them on
Me with
e-victory.
rent
It's
on
looking
Piggy
like Ginger
Small.
right now.
Yes,
Piggy Small's
there's
got in the
there's
picture,
gambling
but he's looking in the
on
picture.
pig
Surely
racing.
not. Surely
You can do
not.
that on the
Surely
internet.
is the undisputed pig racing champion
That's
of the
it.
world. That's
Pig racing. So there's my rant today. Yesterday we talked about XLU and reinvesting dividend actually beats text for the long term. That's how Apple grew into the biggest position. So that Apple chart that I just showed you, this is the largest position and it's grown into that. So I would urge you, make sure that your portfolio is managed correctly. Don't YOLO it. That's the best way to grow up. Yesterday I talked on Spaces about how the poker match the video that Gunjan did with the Wall Street Journal, and I put it in yesterday's newsletter. How great that poker rally. Gunjan went all in with a pair of kings, and they didn't know if she was bluffing, but they just gave her the pot. And both professional poker players said the risk wasn't worth it. Is the risk worth it to throw 50% of your portfolio into one stock? No. Let it grow to be 50%. And again, you can add to it if it's a winner. If it's a loser, don't add to it. But you want to take a look at the long-term chart. You want to take a look at the short-term chart. You want to make sure that you're doing this. Did I know that Apple was going to grow like this? No. I just knew that I used the products and I used the services, and I thought it was fairly valued because I saw everybody around me. I didn't like green bubbles. So, just let me point out SPY, okay? SPY on the daily. Here's where it is. The 21-day, which is, it's the yellow line here, okay? This is the 21-day. We're under the 21-day. Some of the biggest rallies we have come when we've reclaimed that, okay? The 21-day and the 9-day are right at 551. In pre-market, you're at 548. I would urge you that if you're on the long side, just wait until you have that confirmation. And we talk about that all the time, the confirmation. I use the 9-day, but there was an analyst that I respect that said yesterday, hey, 21-day is what you want to use on SPY because historically it's a good one. You can backtest that strategy if you want. You can go into Trendspider and backtest the 21-day. Just buy on the 21-day when it gains it, sell when it's under it. You can create that strategy, see what it does. He said it was pretty good. So with that in mind, this is Liz Young, okay? Liz Young is a great one. She's talking about, we don't know how the story ends. And what's great about this one, she points it out. The rate cut is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of the story. So if you're counting on the rate cut to launch stocks, you might be looking at the beginning of the down market, not the end of the down market. You might be looking at the beginning of the down market. Because remember, when you cut rates, typically rates are cut into weakness in the economy. We're just cutting because the Fed doesn't want to wait too long. That's it. Right now, the employment, it's getting weak. They just don't want to wait too long. So this was a great, and I urge you to watch that one. I'll put it in the newsletter. This was just, if you don't read this one on my Twitter, God of Prompt put this out. I don't understand why people don't use ChatGPT for stock trading. Here are 10 prompts to use for stock trading and investing. I use Gemini. Okay, I like Gemini. I also use Copilot, the app. You can take these prompts, okay? There are 10 of them. There's market analysis, there's portfolio diversification, there's risk management, technical analysis, economic indicators, value investing, market sentiment, earnings reports, growth stock, dividend stocks, global events. Okay? This is how you use AI. I will put this he puts everything out there. And it's just a great example of how to use AI if you don't know what you're doing with a portfolio and you're new. This is great. Even if you're a seasoned one like me, I found it to be fantastic. In fact, you can see right here, I saved this one. And the reason I saved it is I'm going to set it up, and monthly I'll probably put a bunch of these prompts in there. I will probably make them a little bit better and a little more tailored to me. But I will probably be asking Gemini, ChatGPT, anything that I can find, I'll be asking those questions. I think it's really, really a good thing. Now, we talked about oil being bad. Dan Niles, I continue to look beyond the tech sector and the Magnificent Seven for ideas. He likes oil. He likes oil. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I said it yesterday on Spaces. I think UCO might be coming into play. But, again, oil and commodities, it's not my main game. It's just not. He likes it. And you can see some of the energy, tough to get long when Trump wins, means much less regulation. I agree the sector is ripe for a bite or a nibble. That's it. I mean, that's it. If Trump wins, then energy is going to be enormous in that market. He's going to drill, and we're pumping out more than we ever have right now. And if Trump wins, we'll pump more. What's that going to do? That's going to drive the price of oil down. Simple as that. It's just going to drive the price of oil down. So I'd be a little bit nervous about that one. All the financials were down yesterday. We can talk about them. All financials were down after Jamie Dimon said it's too optimistic to assume net interest income, and he did not expect buybacks to come. JP Morgan and these stocks will be buys when they cool off a little bit. Okay, we can go and take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan right now is trading at 203. I would argue if it gets under $200, you want to start taking a look at that stock. Set an alert. Set an alert on Trendspider for when it goes under $200. I think it will, because when you look at JP Morgan here on Seeking Alpha, valuation C, growth B, profitability is an F. Profitability is an F. It's not great, and it's for cash from operations. They're losing 10%. They're spending on AI. Make no mistake, they are spending on AI. It's a hold. Okay, if we look at Wall Street's price target is 222. That's a 10% upside, but they chased it up. So I would argue that this one is it's again the biggest financial stock in the XLF, and this is part of the reason the XLF is up so much. When you look at a weekly, the MACD is still too high. The RSI, 51. But I would argue long-term, you're probably going to be just fine anywhere between 200 and 220 if you're buying this for long-term. I don't like this one long-term, but in my mind, again, if you're buying the best of the breed, I bought Palo Alto instead of CrowdStrike because it was the best in breed. So I thought that one was good. This was just the first. Yesterday, they had a bank conference, and Bank of America talked a little bit conservative, but he was way more bullish than Jamie Dimon. He said his customers are fine. Like I said, anything under 40, I think you're fine on this stock. I would buy it with the algorithm. The algorithm makes you 52% over 2 years. What do you get if you just bought and held it? 15%. So I would buy with the algorithm. The algorithm just got you out with a 2% gain. You win, 46% of the time? Your average win is 6.8%. No reason to buy it right now, but under 40, I think you put this on your watch list. Ally Bank, ALLY is the symbol. This was the one that got killed yesterday. Killed. And the reason it got killed, the CFO came out and said their customers are struggling to pay back their credit cards. That's it. That's it. And so, look at these banks. Take a look at the bank sector. How do you find a bank stock? Go to XLF. Just go to XLF and look at the holdings. You can top 10 holdings: Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America. If you think that Warren Buffett, we talked about Oxy, Occidental Petroleum. Okay, Occidental Petroleum. Everybody wanted to get into this one because Buffett was buying it around between 60 and 70. And we can go and look at those insider buys that he did. And all of a sudden you're down at 51. And they're saying, I got out of Oxy at about, I think 58 or so. And the reason was, I said, if I'm just going to follow Buffett, I'm just going to buy Berkshire. And yes, I bought one share of Berkshire on Buffett's birthday, and I'm down on that one. Am I worried about it? No. I mean, he's got tons of cash. They'll deploy that cash at some point in time. You can take a look at a monthly on this one. You're still way up on the MACD. You're still super, super high. When Buffett dies, you're probably down around $400 just because it's a confidence issue. But that's it. So again, make sure that you have your elevator pitch for those stocks. And if you say I'm in this one because Buffett has it, I think the elevator pitch for me, I was in it because I liked oil and Buffett was in it. I think the elevator pitch for me on Oxy switched. And I said, I just buy BRKB because, it's diversified. It's like an ETF. It's good. NVIDIA, we talked about this one. Good as gold. Do we have a new high or low? There's a daily chart. We can go and look at a daily chart on Seeking Alpha, on Trendspider. We can go look at a daily chart here. 4 hour doesn't have you in yet. But if you go and you look at a daily chart, we have if you take a look at this trend line, okay, I'm going to remove this ray. Okay. We're going to go back to we can, we'll go back to this April. April may not have seemed, hey, do we have an opportunity for an upward trend here in April on the daily? Well, if you touch 3 of them, yeah. I mean, you've kept that trend line in there. Now, if you go back here, let's remove this one. We'll remove that. And then we'll just go back here on the daily, and we'll go back to the October lows from last year. Have we kept this trend? Let's see. If we touch 3, and we go, there's the second one. Have we gotten down to it? No. You touch 3 lines right there. Again, Trendspider puts it in automatically. It just kind of locks it in there for where it sees it. And it means that we might have more downside if you go back to the October lows from last year. But if we remove this, again, it depends on where you put the trend line in. If you anchor here, yeah, we've got higher lows. That's a good thing. You take a look at a weekly on NVIDIA. Have we reset the MACD? Nope. Not one bit. I would say that 100 is probably your bounce up point. So if you're looking to add at 110, I think you go back to 120. Honest to God, I think it's that simple. Citi said that Walmart is their top pick in retail and expects them to continue to grow. Walmart, I would say you're fine in this one long term. It does look a little bit expensive. It's not as expensive as Costco, but it is expensive. Understand, I think that Walmart with their delivery program, the PE is 33. Their PEG with the growth ratio is only 3. So it is expensive, but it's best in breed. And I think if we do get into a good economy, I think Walmart continues to grow. Is this going to grow 10% a year? Probably not. 1 year, you're up 42%. Okay, year to date, you're up 48% in this stock. They've just done really, really well. And you wouldn't think that Walmart was leading, but this is part of XLP, which is the consumer staples. Okay, XLP is the consumer staples. Look at how good this one's doing. Look at that chart. That's great. What are the holdings? It's Costco, it's Procter & Gamble, it's Walmart, it's Coke. We went over that one. So earnings, we talked about GameStop. GameStop's just diluting shareholders. If you're in GameStop, I'm sorry. There's just no hope. I mean, what's the hope? What's your hope for GameStop? I don't know. I mean, you can see this 4-hour chart. It had you in at 22, but you still lose a ton of money, even in the algorithm. I don't have a strategy for this one, but it will pop every now and then. I'd want you to get out there. Let's see, Ryan. Ironically, on yesterday's podcast, I talked about having an elevator pitch, and Ryan says, "What are your thoughts on C Limited? Poised for growth." Is that a great elevator pitch? Probably not. Again, C Limited, I know nothing about it. The algorithm makes you 85% versus 25% buying and holding over the 2 years. I would say trade it. Just got you out with a nice 23% gain. I would say trade it. The algorithm doesn't have you in. Probably will get you in the next couple of days. When you take a look at a weekly, where are we? That doesn't look like a huge growth company to me. That looks like a company that has been dying. Well, why is it dying? Let's go and look at some of the fundamentals. And if we look, it's a strong buy in the quant. The valuation is the only thing the quant says is bad. The PE is 115. Even the forward PE is 41. So this is communication service, interactive home entertainment. What's the number one? Bilibili. That's a Chinese stock. I probably wouldn't do that one. Hua. There's a lot of others. Is C Limited a Chinese stock? Let me see. Or is this Korean? Businesses, it garners Singapore. So Singapore. I'm not a huge fan of the foreign stocks, but Quant says it's a strong buy. Again, what's your elevator pitch? Is the elevator pitch that they're finally out of that doldrum? 5 years, you're up 149%. But that stock right there over 5 years, do you think the bottom's in? I mean, that might be the case. I don't know. Again, the 4-hour makes you a nice 85% over 2 years versus 25% buy and hold. You win, 36% of the time. So it's highly volatile. So if you're going to get into this one, you're going to have to deal with volatility, Ryan. Again, I don't know anything about this, That's my elevator pitch is I'd trade it. I wouldn't own it. And the reason I'd trade it is because of that huge weekly. Do I want to time the bottom? No. 50 days moving positive. That's a good sign. Your top there, let's see what the Wall Street price target is. Let's see. There's 33 analysts, good amount, $85. 10% upside. You know, if we get a nice 10%, they've chased it down. So let's see, profitability. They're 42%. 42% gross profit margin when the sector's getting 51%. Valuation, we can look at the levered free cash flow. They don't have it listed. Levered free cash flow, there it is, 10%. That's pretty good because the sector's only growing at 7%. So again, I don't know it. I'm a little bit disappointed that your elevator pitch is poised on growth. Because who knows if it's growing? I don't know if it's growing. You know, maybe you do. And tell me why it's growing. So, scans, SMCI. We talked about this one yesterday, potentially getting a cross up. It got to cross up on the 4 hour, and you can see it right there at 410. Microsoft gets a cross up. Do you want to add these? I would argue that for long term, I think you add these when the algorithm says, you know, hey, you're going to make money on them, because if you're interested in them, you can buy them. You know, we talked about in the beginning, MicroStrategy got a cross up here at 125 and it gave me a buy. You're at 123 in pre-market. So, you know, again, we're in a very kind of wishy-washy market. It's never going to feel comfortable. But if you're looking to add long-term, add long-term. One that, you know, I wouldn't add long-term is GCT. I got questioned, I think, afterwards about GCT yesterday. I got out of this when I saw that, hey, it was more likely to go to 18 than it was to 30 again because of weakness. You know, when I got out, I think it was at 22 during this time. It just didn't seem to break the 9-day. And I said, okay, I'm done. Because I do think that 18 was a support level that I identified, and 25 was another a resistance level. It was an old support that turned into resistance. How did I find it? Well, I went to the weekly, and I just looked. Where's the 18 coming from? Look, that 1 week candle on September 11th from last year. It's where it was. So if you held this for a full year, you haven't made any money. If you held this for a full year, you haven't made a dime. And your MACD on the weekly is still weak. Doesn't look to be turning around on the weekly. So, but it does have a 4-hour algorithm cross up. Now the algorithm makes you 134% versus losing 9% over 2 years. Do you want to buy this one? I'd say no. I'd say don't be a fool. You win 36% of the time. Your average win is 39%. I don't think that this one right now with a 50-day negative, a 200-day negative, a 9-day negative, and it's 21-day. Even though the algorithms, it seems like it's a winner, I would still say you're in for more weakness. That's just a guess right there. But again, you know, make sure you know exactly what you're doing there. Now, there's a couple of leveraged ETFs that kind of pose an interesting one. BABX, which is 2 times BABA. This is an interesting one. I mean, BABA's been beaten down. And if you want to play this one, 1705. Does it look like it? You know, we're over the 200-day, 50 days moving positive, 200 days moving positive. You know, look at your moving averages. You can trade this one. I would trade this one on a tight time frame, not on a multi-day. You know, on a Wednesday, you can probably hold it till Thursday or Friday, and then I'd get rid of it and maybe buy it again Monday. But, and a bunch of Bitcoin and crypto. So, again, I am off tomorrow through Monday. I'll be back on Tuesday. If you have any questions, everything's on the link tree, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. If you sign up for Trendspider, just sign up, then email me, and I'll send you the 4-hour algorithm. I'll send you everything. If you sign up for Alpha Picks or Alpha, Seeking Alpha, there's nothing to do. You just sign up there. Sign up for Webull. You know, throw some money in. That's my sports betting account. That's what I do. The Daily Stock Pick newsletter, it is free during the week. And I will most likely have some newsletters while I'm there. I'm going to work on some paid stuff as well. So you'll definitely have some paid newsletters while I'm up in New Jersey. I can publish those with the iPad. I can do those while I'm traveling. But yeah, so if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, talk to you. Bye. Boom, boom. See, short and sweet. think I went on for like 38, 39 minutes. Have we opened up? Yep, 9:48. Okay, let's see your comments. Greg, I honestly, I don't. The plus side for voting for Trump is you get 2 new candidates next time. The negative of voting for Trump is you probably don't have a peaceful transfer of power, and he uses the Justice Department to, exactly the way that I think the Democrats have tried to do. Even though I do think that a lot of those, like the court case for January 6th, he sat in the White House and did nothing. He wanted Mike Pence. There's a reason Mike Pence isn't voting for him. But, again, there's pluses and minuses on both sides. I'm just not a fan of either one. But I do agree. I strongly agree. I'm a man. I have no right in saying what a woman does with her body. So I will add to that, I have friends who are completely pro-life. And they live that life to the point of adopting, to the point of making, even though there are children that they personally have had who have had difficulties, even deaths, held through term, blah, blah, blah. I won't go into it more, but I have total respect for pro-life. And it's an issue. I don't think the government should be involved. I think it's a totally personal issue. And, there's nobody killing a baby after 9 months, though. He's just wrong about that one. Yeah. And the key point, Greg, is if you know what you want and what you're doing, that's fine. But I also respect everybody's right to choose for a vote. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. I'm going to tell you, it's just like the market. You can tell me, I can tell you that I like Apple, and then you tell me Apple's crazy. I can tell you that I like Tesla. You can tell me that Tesla's crazy. The price matters. So at the end of the day, I think you lived through 4 years of Biden and things were fine. It wasn't bad. Things were fine. It wasn't glorious. You lived through 4 years of Trump. Things were fine. It wasn't as good as he says it was. He creates chaos, and I'd rather have, and I'm sorry if this sounds elitist. I'd rather have some inflation with calmness and, versus chaos. And, I'll take a little bit inflation, but, oh, you want to post your elevator pitch? Post a video. Post it in the Facebook group. Post it on Twitter. Why should I be the only one that judges your elevator pitch? You can post it on Substack. You can send me a message too. Whatever you want. It's all here on the link tree. Wherever you want, Troy. If you're not comfortable with sending it publicly, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm the same as you, Star. There are bad people in the world. And I have friends who are veterans who were active duty veterans in Iraq and Afghanistan and things of that sort. And it's a hard... It sucks. It's a shitty world. I don't want to be president because there is no way I could send somebody on a duty. I didn't want to be military. My dad kind of, taught me he didn't want me in the military. So I have total respect for the military folks, though. They do things that I don't want to do. Kind of like the guy who cleans up the screen at the shit house, or who dumps the porta potties, or who rides on the fucking back of the garbage truck. There's shit in this world I just don't want to do. And thank God I have the freedom to not do that. You know, and that other people are willing to do that, I should say. Thank goodness for them. Again, I'm just a citizen of this country. I am nobody that will spout off that you're wrong for voting for somebody, or you're, you know, a bad person for voting for somebody. For Trump to say that I'm an enemy of the state because I might vote for Harris, come on. I'm an American. And for Harris to say that, you know, liberty and freedom is at stake, I don't know that that's 100% true. I think both sides just, you know, like to sling stuff. So if you're going to come at me or not listen because of my political views, I don't care. I just, you know, honestly, I don't care. I mean, you know, it's like Peter Thiel is the main investor in Palantir. Palantir's CEO is voted pretty strongly voting for Harris. And Peter Thiel is pretty strongly. We can all get along. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm not going to engage in the, oh my God, it's a danger to society. But I will tell you, if I was a woman and I wanted, you know, choice of my body, I'd probably, you know. And FYI, I have, and I think I've said this before, I have personal issues with Trump. There are family. You know, I don't know if a lot of people may not be old enough to remember the 6 Degrees of Bacon, where you would have to link, somebody would name an actor, and within 6 jumps, you could name a linkage to Kevin Bacon. 6 Degrees of Trump, I'm one. Just to give you an idea. I mean, I grew up in Jersey, so I'm one. And it's a pretty severe, you know, Trump's policies, I don't mind. I do mind his demeanor. He showed it last night. He's just an angry guy. And that's what I saw personally too. And to the point where, you know, a family friend committed suicide. Over him not paying, by the way, because the insurance money was more for his family. Trump sent him into bankruptcy. And the response was, that's business. And if you think that's unlike Trump, go and read his nephew's book. About how his autistic son should die. Again, I know people get mad when I bash Trump, but he wants to pick sides, and Harris wants us to pick sides, and I'm not on her side. I'm just, I'm anti-Trump. It doesn't look like, it looks like the bots are leaving. Nobody else. And with that, I will go on vacation. How's that for that? And I know I got a platform, but I hope people don't listen to me for the election. I think Taylor Swift put it really well. I give her kudos. I saw the best was the best post from Chris, I'm not to your point where I'm a prepper. But yeah. Same exact thing, Troy. And then family friend to support his family committed suicide to get insurance money. Didn't work. And I don't think Trump even thought twice about it. Would be out of character for him, let's just say, to care. And I do think, here's the thing. Every president has to, that's a tough job. I hope nothing crazy happens. What happened last time? The market tanked, didn't it? Last time I left on the MLS job. I think it was Columbus and both times. It was Columbus and North Carolina. Yeah. So, and I'm going to my parents' anniversary party. It ain't gonna like a vacation. It really is not a vacation. Trust me. I've got the honeydew list out the wazoo. So I hope you guys, I'm sorry to go off on political tangents. I try not to, but sometimes you just have to. I honestly, in middle of the road, and I would urge everybody, if you are, the market likes just status quo. So if you are voting, who's ever in office, just vote them out. Vote whoever you want for president. I mean, if you think that the Supreme Court isn't conservative enough, vote for Trump. If you think the Supreme Court is too conservative, vote for Harris. Because that's the most important part. I mean, we may finally have Mitch McConnell out of there, who Trump says he did a great thing. Mitch McConnell was the architect, because the court would be fairly even with Garland if Mitch McConnell didn't block it from Obama. So, okay. See you guys. Let me do an index check just to see, where are we? I didn't even look. It looks like the Qs. Face ID. Qs are red. Couldn't hold the open. Couldn't hold it. Yeah. I'm down 0.17. So, wow. What's down 1%? Is that that's the Dow Jones. What the hell is down on the Dow Jones? Let's see. Dow Jones. Where is it? No, we've got that. There it is. Index. Amazon's down 1%. Oh, Boeing's down 2%. Wow. Cat's down 1.5%. Oil's really tanking. Intel's down 1 point. Oh, Intel's at 18. Wow. Shit. Travelers Insurance is down 2%. An insurance company is down 2%. Recession called. Yeah, and if you didn't know, this little right toolbar is great for everything that you need in Trendspider. I love this thing. You can go and look at the top Wall Street bets mentioned in the last 30 days, okay? NVIDIA, SPY, ASTS, Rocket Labs, Lunar. Big winners. Let's see. Oh, there's one big loser. What was that? 15% that was down. GameStop. Wow, GameStop's under 20. They have so much cash. I don't know what they're doing. NVDL up 3%. That's the long NVIDIA. BTC, which is Grayscale mini trust for Bitcoin. That one's new. But I love this thing, and I love just taking a look. Halts for news on the last 30 days. You can see those. Let's see. What else do we have that's interesting? You can look at textiles, specialty foods, trends by semiconductors. They're just, I really do like this one. Yeah. I love just scrolling through this sometimes, but I usually do keep it on the Daily Stock Pick Core Investments or my portfolio. Yeah. And Greg, I mean, the guy is just a complete shit show when it comes to managing people and being a good person. But, there, like I said, there are some, hey, I won't vote for her because of this. And there are a lot of, I won't vote for him because of this. So there are people with one issue, and they'll vote on one issue. There are people with 2 issues, and they'll vote on 2 issues. I don't know anybody who has a complete, like, okay, I've got 6 issues, and that's why I'm voting here. And if you are one of those people, kudos to you because you've done your research. But Netflix is back up at 671. It's flattening out a little. This is going to be a buy. Again, it used 700 right as its resistance. You know, Apple is at 220. I mean, I think 220 to 230 is the buy. Okay. I am out. Show exit. You guys have a great week. Take care.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily.